Welcome back to Community Conversations. I'm your host, Josh Hardy, Executive Director of Concord TV, and I'm excited to have with us today a couple members of the Kiwanis Club of Concord. We have past President Ken Georgevits, thanks for coming in, and we've got Mark Lester. You were the current President of the Kiwanis Club of Concord.
That is correct.
And you guys aren't just in here hanging out with us today for no purpose. We're actually going to be talking about a fair that you have coming up, which has been a long-running tradition here in Concord. But to kind of, before we get to that event, which I'm excited is back in Concord this year after a couple years layoff, to start with us about the Kiwanis Club in general. Ken, we can start with you, or Mark, whoever wants to take this, but tell us just a little bit for those who, I'm sure everyone has heard of Kiwanis, but sort of when it comes down to your mission and kind of community purpose.
First of all, thank you very much to Concord TV for hosting us here, for you, Josh, and to all the people that make Concord TV happen. You get paid big bucks to do this. I know, you're in media, but we really appreciate that you taking and promoting our events and our organization. Kiwanis is a non-denominational, non-partisan group of men and women who work to build better communities. Our mission is young children, priority one. We've been in Concord since April 1924, and we're coming up on our 100th anniversary next year.
Wow.
We've been, again, since April. I've been in the club for 39 years myself. My son is also in the club, and so it's been a family event for us, but it's been a very active part of the community for, right now, 99 years.
Give us an idea of just the current Kiwanis, about the membership and about sort of the day-to-day or week-to-week, or what is the Kiwanis Club of Concord, what entails being a Kiwanis member now?
What really entails being a member is someone who just has a love for the community, wants to be able to give back, loves a collaboration of other individuals that have the same focus, love young children, want to encourage them to have that sense of community, to give back. We meet basically twice a month. We have a lunch meeting that we on the second Monday of every month at the Red Blazer at noon. So if anybody is interested in finding out more, they're welcome to come to our lunch meeting, which we have one coming up today at the Red Blazer. And then we also have an informal meeting on the fourth Monday of each month at the Red Blazer as well, in the pub area, where you basically have your own menu. You pick what you want to have to eat, but it's really about getting together, talking about how we can be involved in our local community. We have a wide range of young people as well as retirees, and anywhere in that spectrum, which is really, it's kind of nice to be able to rub shoulders with people that have different experiences and different ideas, and we bring those together to try to benefit the community as a whole.
Well, that's what I found just being in Concord. If there's a way I could sum up from my years of being around here, it's just you try to find opportunities to work with people that you've worked with before and you have really good synergy with, but also making new connections and meeting new people and trying to help new organizations out and build those partnerships up. And to me, Concord is such a welcoming, fostering of community type of place. So, and it's thanks in large part to the Kiwanis Club of Concord. Yes. So remind us again when the meetings are. So they're at Red Blazer.
Red Blazer, we meet, our lunch meeting is the second Monday of every month.
Okay.
So that is today from 12 to 1 o'clock.
Yep.
And then we have an informal one in the evening, the fourth Monday of every month.
Okay. And this is going to happen a couple times during the show, but if you could, either you or Ken, remind us where people could get more information about Concord Kiwanis.
Well, they can, go ahead.
ConcordKiwanis.org.
Okay.
Or 603-496-1200.
Okay, perfect. And I am going to do that a couple times because a big part of this is for people to be able to see this and go, hey, I want to check that out. And a good reminder for folks, because I think everybody is aware generally that Kiwanis exists, but just for them to be able to put faces to an organization name and see that you guys are a welcoming and a great community member.
And unfortunately, in today's hyper-partisan environment, nobody that I can think of can disagree with young children priority one.
Right.
Absolutely.
For a long time, for the first 60 years that Kiwanis was around, it was a purely male organization. Over the last 20, 25 years, during my tenure in, we have now become, what would you call it, co-ed? Men and women. I don't know what you'd call it.
Right,
I can't get all the pronouns straight. But the idea is, whether you're Democrat or Republican, this view or that view, if you're selling tickets at the spring fair or picking up trash or parking cars at the antique car show, you can't help but, who can argue with young children priority one? So it's a common cause that overcomes a lot of partisan barriers.
Yeah, right. Breaking down barriers and saying we're one community. Let's work together to make Concord better. So absolutely. Now, you guys have a lot of fun because there are some different fun events that you host and fundraisers. There's an event coming up very soon from when folks watch this, just a few days away, the annual Kiwanis Fair. Now, I forget which one of you will be telling us more.
I'll do the history and Mark will give you the details of the upcoming one. How's that sound?
Yes. Tell me more about the history, Ken.
The history makes it very easy for me. This is our first one in 3 years, so this will be our 64th, but it should be our 67th. The only reason I can remember that exactly, Mark, you're probably wondering, how does he know that? It's not that I remember. It started in 1955.
Okay.
So did I.
Really?
So that's the easiest way for me to remember.
Right.
It started the year I was born. Okay. We've been having this, originally it was up at Concord Airport, and then at the Highway Hotel. Now, how many people remember the New Hampshire Highway Hotel? I'll bet not a lot. Do you remember it, John?
No, I don't. I consider myself, for my age, somewhat of a Concord historian, but no, I'm not familiar.
The New Hampshire Highway Hotel was where all the state legislatures used to stay over.
Right.
It was where Hannaford and Pizzeria Uno is right now,
Right,
Petco.
yes.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
where it was,
Yep.
on Fort Eddy Road, and it burned down.
Yeah.
And we used to meet there. We used to also have the spring fair in their ballroom. And when on New Hampshire First in the Nation primary, that was always Communications Central, New Hampshire Highway Hotel. That went away. So then we went to the Everett Arena and had for many years what we called a trade fair. It wasn't a spring fair, it was a trade fair. Whereas we had outdoor carnival rides and carnival food, which Mark will get into. I know both of us will a lot this week. I love the sausage bombs. But what happened was we also, inside the arena, we had like a home show. And that worked out for many years until somebody came along and said, I can do that myself and make a profit on it. And so they had a home show 2 months before our spring fair. And guess what? Nobody wanted to be in 2 home shows.
Oh, okay.
And that took out 30 to 35% of our net revenue because somebody basically took it away from us. Not saying anything bad about them, but we had it going, so that hurt a lot. That leads us to today where we have the outdoor carnival rides and carnival food, and currently we don't have an event for inside. Now, if you're out there and you can think of a real good event, like they had a cat show this weekend.
Wow. Hey.
They had a cat show, they have a train show, they have bike swap. We've tried a flea market. So if you have a good idea, again, you're talking about how to get in touch with us, please, we're open to anybody's idea, member or no member.
Right.
We're doing that. So again, Mark will talk about this fair this weekend coming up.
So the fair dates are going to be Thursday the 12th through Sunday the 15th. So it's just around the corner, as you'd mentioned. The nice thing is on Thursday, it's going to be from 5 to 10 o'clock. On Saturday, and then we have it on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday as well. So the Friday hours are 5 to 11, Saturday hours are noon to 11, and then Sunday are noon to 6. And the nice thing about the fair is, too, you actually have wristband specials, where if you buy a wristband, you get unlimited rides on all the carnival rides. Those they're not available every day, so they are available on Thursday from 5 to 10. They're on Saturday from noon to 5, and they're available on Sunday from noon to 6. And if you have one of these coupons, which you can find in a lot of stores around the Concord area, you can find them at Eastern Bank, where I work. They're there as well, but you get with this coupon, you can get $2 off the wristband, right? So it's a little bit of a savings.
Yep.
Admission to the actual fair is going to be free. There's no cost to walk around. If you want to ride the rides, that's where you would buy the coupons or the tickets to ride the rides. The parking is free, so you can park at the Everett Arena, or you can park across the street, but the parking's free, admission's free, tremendous food there with, all the fair foods, right? You've got snow cones and ice cream and sausage bombs, as Ken talked about, fried dough, French fries, right? So there's a lot of a lot of fun stuff there, some carnival games and things like that. So come
Yeah.
and bring the whole family, and the weather is supposed to be fantastic.
It's going to be. I know. I was looking at the extended forecast and went, "Oh man, we just skipped spring and went right into summer pretty much." But this is, families with young kids are always looking for things to do with their families. Looking for things. They're always looking at the weekend calendar, and Concord does a good job of having a variety of events. But it does seem like you guys are fitting a very specific need. So it seems like perfect timing. And I would think families watching this or people who, they should mark off on their calendar. And do you recommend, like with parking, when is it most busy, or do you have any idea there?
Let's first and foremost emphasize parking is free at the arena.
Yes.
So you don't have to park at the post office and then cut across Loudon Road.
Yeah.
Because I've worked as a crossing guard there, and I say, why did you park over there and have to cross the road? They said, we didn't want to pay for parking. And I
Parking's
said,
free.
Parking's free.
Parking's free.
We didn't know that. We have a big message board donated by Sunbelt Rentals out of Manchester, and it's going to say free parking.
Yeah.
We've done everything we can to try to save people some money there. These coupons save people money.
Yep.
There is a large population of new Americans. I think that's the right term.
Yep.
That attend, where there is sometimes a little bit of a language barrier. But point like that works really well. They take their children there.
Yep.
To a lot of people, this is their trip to Disneyland.
Right.
And that's a good thing. And it's right here in Concord, literally right downtown pretty much.
Yep.
And so that's a very good thing, is this family entertainment, again, family, young children, priority one. But there are rides. Mark, you want to talk about what type of rides they have there?
Well, we've got the Ferris wheel, of course, and probably like the Scrambler, and there's a slide, where you can take the kids on the slide there. So they have rides for children, but they also have some rides a little bit more exciting, for the teenagers.
Yep.
Word.
And things like that. And I remember I graduated here in Concord, New Hampshire back in 1985. So I'm dating myself there. But that was a big thing in the end of the school year, to go and hang out with your friends at the fair. And they have carnival games there where you can, games of chance and things like that.
Yep.
And if you can get so many basketballs in the hoop, and you can win a toy or a prize or a stuffed animal, things like that. So there's quite a lot of variety.
Yeah. That's awesome. And I love what you said there, Ken, about that for people, like, this is their chance. Some people just can't get out of Concord, or don't have time to, don't have the money, right? Gas is very expensive now. Traveling is very expensive. A lot of people weren't able to get out of town for April vacation. So you have something within just a few miles for a lot of people, even walking distance, for this really, really great fair event. And people in New Hampshire love going to fairs. They love the food and the fried dough and the Ferris wheel. I'm a little bad with heights, but maybe the ones that stay lower to the ground maybe. But people love the Ferris wheel. I mean, you're talking about something that's just a staple of kind of New Hampshire, New Englander tradition that you guys offer.
And that's also, as we were talking before we went on air here, it's a chance for social interaction. And it's been how many years since we've had a chance for social interaction?
Yeah.
Now, there are people who take that to different levels, and that's up to each individual. Thank God we live in a country of free choice. But you turn around and you say, oh, wait, I can see, and the high school kids are our number one target market, quite frankly. High school kids are our number one target market. And they come in. And by the way, if my doctor's watching, I only have one steak bomb. I know you told me to watch what I eat. I just want to make sure. My wife is watching, and she measured my Cheerios in the morning. So.
Oh, man. Yeah. Moderation, yeah.
Moderation.
Yeah.
We have some other rides that I flew in a T-38 with the Navy. If you remember the movie Armageddon, where they go up and we're going to spin you and twist you and do this. And I got to do that.
Yeah.
I made it 90% of the way through the flight before nature took over. We have some rides that, but people love this sort of stuff. People pay to do this sort of thing.
I know.
I'm not the guy. I don't know. Mark, Josh, can you go on those rides?
I'm better with like twisting or spinning. I can stomach that. The heights aren't great, but if it's one of those ones that does sort of the loops or the spins, I'm okay with that.
Wow.
I could stomach that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like excitement. So the bigger the ride, the faster the fall, or the scarier, I'm all for that.
Wow.
Yeah, for sure.
Mark loves the
We'll put you
adrenaline
in the
rush.
T-38 next time.
I would take you up on that.
Yeah.
The adrenaline rush there. So I know there's a lot of other fundraisers that Kiwanis has. I've been to the car show before. Maybe you could tell us
Yes,
about
you have.
that. And if there's anything else you wanted to sort of mention, because Kiwanis, you guys, it's not you have this fair coming up, but it's a year-round effort for what you do. So why don't you tell us about a few other things?
I'll talk about the fundraiser, and then Mark can talk about where the funds go.
Perfect.
So in addition to the fair, which we can share this, it all depends on weather. It's looking good. We should make between $10,000 and $15,000 net. Okay, so that's for a 4-day event. Our next big event is the 35th, in this case, car show. Used to be antique car show. Now it's a classic car show. That goes back to the days of Ken Jordan. People will remember Ken. And Chris Pappas started that. Chris is still an active member of the club. That's held down at New Hampshire Technical Institute, and it's going to be on 10 September this year. As you've been down there, we end up between 200 and 300 cars of all shapes, sizes, and we have them in classes, the Corvette class. And then some people who are really into this say, well, Corvettes pre-1965 and some Corvettes post-1965, a Studebaker class, and all these different classes. That's another family event that you can go to. That one we charge admission, $2.
A whole $2.
A whole $2 a person. And I don't think, do we charge for children? I don't
think so.
It just, so again, and the key there is you just can't touch the cars.
Right. Well, yeah.
Yeah, you can't touch
And
it.
make sure the kids don't. Make sure they don't run up. And yeah, I'm
There
sure
you go.
that's the,
So that raises, depending on the weather, again, this is New Hampshire, New England, everything depends on the weather. That raises between $7,000 and $8,000.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Okay? And then this year we started down at the draft at the Sanborns, and thank you for helping us out with that. They have the casino.
Right,
So
downstairs,
yeah, it's called Games of Chance. And nonprofits can sign up and provide the state, and I don't know which section of the state, but the state, about that much paperwork, and you become kind of a sponsor of it.
Right.
And this year we made about $3,000 ballpark for a week. So we'll have, assuming good weather throughout, we'll have about a $20,000 a year budget if all goes together. Some clubs make more, some clubs make less.
And I'm sure it ebbs and flows with how certain events go or how things.
Weather determinant is what's the number one variable? Weather. Everything else is down here, but weather is up here. We had snow twice over the last 67 years. Snow in May.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, well.
we had to shut the fair down.
Well,
for
I don't
snow.
think I'm jinxing it and saying I think there's a fair chance no snow this year.
Yeah, not with the forecast.
If somehow that changed, you could. I jinxed it, but I doubt it. Yeah. But you mentioned, not that this is the focal point of everything, but the games of chance. Actually, it's interesting because I believe it's like a state law that any games of chance that these different casinos do, they have to give a portion of the proceeds to nonprofits. So you see a lot of different, whether it's Boston Billiards or some of these different ones that all are giving back to different nonprofits. And you're right, the stack of paperwork is pretty impressive there. But it's nice to have that system where it's kind of coming back to the nonprofit sector, which there's how many nonprofits in New Hampshire? A staggering amount, right?
Sure.
And that adds to the legitimacy of it too, because let's face it, sometimes gambling has a tainted past.
Sure, absolutely.
And so if you have at least the appearance of government oversight, then that makes it, you go, and even if you go in there and you lose $10 or $20, you can't bet much at these. You say, well, that's a $10 or $20 donation to Concord Kiwanis.
Right.
So you can look at it that way.
Right. And do they tell? This is something I'm not as aware. Like when proceeds are going to Concord, the Kiwanis Club of Concord, do they sort of make that clear? Like proceeds this week go to, or do they not really? Can you tell when it's?
Depends on what you're looking for. Some people, I've traveled a lot. You ask them directions, and I know the place is only 1 block away. I don't know, that's not on my block. And what some people that go in here say, I'm going in here to gamble. I really don't care if it's for the Women's Club or Kiwanis. And other people say, so what's this week's organization? And it all depends on the individual.
Yeah, it certainly does. Same thing with if you've ever been to like the co-op, they have sort of the roundup program, and sometimes maybe it depends on the nonprofit, but it is nice. I'm always thinking from a civically minded community. I'm always like, well, let's round up, or hey, it's to me that always matters. What organization is that for? But you're right, it depends on the person.
Yeah,
for
it depends
sure.
on the person.
So I think the thing we didn't talk about, Mark, is about where the funds go necessarily, which I think Ken, you had sort of alluded to with in terms of sort of the mission of the organization. But are there any specific projects, or is it grants that are given out, or just donations that Kiwanis makes? Where do the funds go that are raised?
That's a great question. And so a lot of the money that we raise actually goes back into the community through other nonprofits that are asking for money to help fund the Capital Area Food Program. We sponsor a Little League Babe Ruth team.
Good.
Every year. We've been doing that. How many years now?
Longer than 40.
A lot.
So, and
that's all I can
we like doing that. We've actually given money back to Future Insight. One year they had a camera that got broken and they needed to replace that camera. They came to us. We were able to donate the money to buy the new camera they needed. We actually do a book scholarship award for graduating seniors. Okay. The reason why we call it a book scholarship award is any money that seniors will receive for college goes against their expected family contribution, their EFC, which all seniors probably are very familiar with. Yeah. We call it a book award now, so that way it doesn't take away from what they can get from tuition reimbursement or scholarships from the colleges, and the money is used specifically for books. We typically do 10 scholarships every year, but because the last 3 years we've had no income coming in. Right. This year we lowered it to 5, but we're actually going to be handing out those 5 book scholarship awards next month at our monthly meeting in June. Great. And it's kind of exciting, even though the cost of education is astronomical now. Anywhere between room and board and tuition being, $35,000 on the short end to $86,000 on the high end, and maybe even more. That $500 book scholarship can help a lot towards those books, because a lot of times that scholarship money does not go towards buying the books.
Exactly.
And books can be very expensive. Right. So we do that. We've actually helped the Mayhew program. We've been helping them out over 40 years. They have a camp for boys, and we help sponsor children to go to camp there. And what are some other things that we use?
Big thing for us is Key Club. Kiwanis educates youth. Yep. And we sponsor Key Clubs at Pembroke Academy and at Merrimack Valley. Good. And there is, I understand something going on at Concord High with Key Club, but I'm not too sure about that one.
Sometimes some clubs, especially here at Concord, they kind of ebb and flow, and it's been tough the last couple of years. Some kind of go away or come back, or they have different, but so Pembroke Academy, Merrimack Valley High School. Yep. So that's awesome, the Key Club, because I wondered about that I knew there was some affiliation there. Now, there's also Kiwanis International, Ken, right?
So we start with the member. The member is the root of the organization. The member is part of a club, in this case, Concord Kiwanis. The club is part of a division. And in our case, Central New Hampshire includes Manchester, Hooksett, Salem, and towns like that. Sure. The division is part of a district. There is the district right there, the New England district. Yep. I purposely wore that shirt. It's a visual aid. There you go. Yep. And the district, which takes into account all of New England and for some reason Bermuda, but Bermuda just wanted a district to be in. We said, okay, come on, we're welcome. Come on down. And then the district is part of Kiwanis International. Okay. So member all the way up through Kiwanis International, based in Indianapolis, founded in 1915. In Detroit, it was actually founded. And it's been around Kiwanis. So Concord Kiwanis is only 9 years younger than Kiwanis International. And they do things like neonatal tetanus, which is if you give tetanus shots to pregnant mothers, you can prevent tetanus. And it costs $1 or $2, and it's a global thing. We don't have to find the new vaccine for it. It exists. It exists, yeah. We're very involved with KPTI, Kiwanis Pediatric Trauma Institute in Boston, arguably the best pediatric trauma center on the planet. And that's something Kiwanis has been very involved with over the last several decades. Yep. So that's what Kiwanis is about. So you're helping the community, but part of a big organization as well. I use my hands.
Yeah, well, very visual there, but it also, I mean, a key part there too is it starts with the members. Without the members,
There is
there's nothing.
Right.
So to that front, how can people, Mark, because we only have a few minutes left here, how can people get involved? We'd sort of alluded to it, but let's make that pitch one more time. How could folks get involved? What are some of the, whether they are interested in membership or just looking to just offer their support, how can they do that?
Well, we've got the fair coming up this weekend, so they can actually stop by and see. We have a lot of volunteers from our own club that will be there. Myself will be there. Ken will be there. They can come and talk to us then. They can go to our website,
ConcordKiwanis.org.
Yes.
so they can go there. They can always reach out to me at Eastern Bank, stop by and see me there, or m.lester@easternbank.com. We have an application which tells a lot about the history of Kiwanis. They could come to one of our meetings. They could come to, like I said, we have one today. We meet the second Monday of every month at the Red Blazer from 12 to 1. We meet the fourth Monday of every month in the evening at 6 p.m. in the pub. Welcome just to pop in and introduce themselves. We'll talk to them about how the club works and how to join and all the things that we're involved in. Because really the main theme of Kiwanis is helping change the world one child, one community at a time. So we're changing tomorrow, today. You could be a part of that. So there are many ways to get in touch or find one of these little yellow
They're all
coupon
over
codes.
Concord.
All over Concord.
They're all over Concord. Well, very good, and I think that is going to wrap up our program here. Mark and Ken, thank you so much for taking time, because I know you guys have so much else that you do for the Concord community, so taking the time to come into the studio and kind of perform this outreach, I think it makes a big difference, and I think it's great to have you guys in here. Concord Kiwanis or Kiwanis Club of Concord, you guys are welcome back anytime. So if you wanted to come in, Ken, you've done PSAs with us before. We've done studio shows, so you are welcome back anytime, because part of our mission at Concord TV is to support the organizations that really make things happen around here, and you guys are amongst that.
And to the City Council, when you look at the Concord TV budget and Concord TV needs, they provide service, and they're a very good organization, and absolutely we would continue to support them.
Thank you so much, Ken. And until next time, I'd like to thank everyone for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube, and just continue to support Concord TV as we continue fulfilling our mission to build community through media. Until next time, thanks for watching.